Hello and welcome everyone to my Let's Play Tomb Raider 3, The Adventures of Lara Croft. This is guys 115 speaking. Let me welcome to the ultimate Tomb Raider 3 challenge, the Lost City of Tinnos. Now, kind of like is the standard in these Antarctica levels, we will find 3 secrets here, and we will find 38 items. However, you might be puzzled by the infinite kill count I have put in the introductory slide of the level. Oh dear god, that is because there is the potential for a infinite number of enemies. Something like the infinite possible spawn of lizards in the Temple of Puna, but so much worse. And I will tackle this challenge in a particular way, as I'll explain later on, when we will actually find the reason behind these infinite kills in this level. For now, let me just welcome you to what is pretty much the Temple of Xian equivalent of Tomb Raider 3. Basically all the challenges you've faced so far in Tomb Raider 3, which I do consider one of the most difficult Tomb Raider games ever, if not the most difficult ones. All the challenges have been leading up to this one massive challenge. Now, where we find ourselves is the ancient city of Tinnos, of the culture of humans whose descendants are the Polynesians living in the South Pacific, in the Tomb Raider franchise, that is. Well, there isn't really much known about these people. If you remember in the opening cutscene of Tomb Raider 3, they have found those Moai statues by accident because of a couple of pyrotechnic explosions, and that's probably where they set up the RX-Tech mines and started to dig deeper, and until they finally found this city. Now, we are staring at the magnificent entrance of the city. There are still some remains of the RX-Tech, metal constructions, couple of lights, that kind of thing. But what's more interesting is... yes, no temperature bar. There is some source of natural temperature here, some warmth, some heat, which prevents us from freezing in the water. So from now on you don't have to worry about that kind of thing, which is really nice. Nevertheless, oh dear god, we'll worry about completely different things, especially in water, in this level. Now, our first order of business... well, actually, we'll discover a bit later why there is such a high temperature in this place, but, as I said, our first order of business is to get into the city itself. For that, we need to open quite a few gates all around this place. And basically the entrance into the city is in this room over here. We need to activate 3 of the 5 switches up ahead. Think of it like Palace Midas challenge, you know, with the different levers. But first of all, in order to even get up there, we need to extend a ladder. Now, in order to do that, there are a couple of buttons to press and doors to open. We need to open the door at the top of this ramp. Actually, I really find the architecture interesting. At some points it looks really modern, at other points it looks Greek almost, then it looks Egyptian. It's really weird. I mean, it's, you know, it's a fiction, okay? This is not inspired by any real architecture, and I just find it really fascinating. Just how creative these guys went, and to be honest, unlike the Atlantis in Tomb Raider 1, this actually looks beautiful. I really did not like the art direction they took with the Atlantis in Tomb Raider 1. I mean, I understand there is a lot of corruption caused by Natla and mutants and Hive and that kind of thing, but still, could have looked better. Thankfully, I think they kind of fixed this in Anniversary. Anyways, what we see below is a room with a key, the keyhole to which you've probably already seen next to one of the doors. Now, our first order of business is to press this lever. This opens the door in the ramp just beneath us, and you can explore these corridors, although they are mostly pointless, but these sort of windows or archways leading to the outside area not only give you an impressive view, but there is also a stone pillar on top of which we can jump from here. However, I find this to be a very tricky jump. I prefer to get there from a different spot. We'll find ourselves on the other side of this iron grate. Once again, we can admire the view. There in the distance we see a crystal and a rocket. We will finally be putting those rockets to good use in this level and the following one, so definitely get as many as you can, although saying that I think this is the only rocket in the entire level, so even more worth getting. But yeah, I prefer to just make a running jump on top of the stone pillar here, and yeah, from this stone pillar we'll once again make a running grabbing jump to reach the crystal. It's kind of pointless for you PC version players, because not many opportunities to get hurt at this point, but you know, perhaps you can retrace your steps here a bit later if you are desperate and running low on health packs. Now, as I said, we have pressed that switch to open the door beneath us. Now, what we'll see here is kind of the first hint of the civilization we are dealing here with. Yeah, there is a crack which really just shows us a dead end. A missed opportunity, in my opinion. They could have really, you know, used that to show some impressive view in the future part of the level or something. Nevertheless, what we have found is a key, and it's called Uli key. Now, it has these strange holes which almost look like eyes. It reminds me a bit of the eyes on the Eastern Island looking statues in the entrance of the Lost City. Yeah, so it seems to be made out of copper or some kind of metal like that. Yeah. As you can see, there isn't exactly an overabundance of the meteorite material here or anything like that. It was probably worshipped by these people as well. But actually we'll learn much more about that in the next level. First of all, we'll insert this Uli key. I'm not sure what Uli is even supposed to be. Is it supposed to be a word used by their culture or something like that? I truly have no idea. And yeah, there we go. Okay, just a completely pointless empty room, although you can see these carvings in there, or paintings, however you want to call them. And once again we get a sneak peek into, this time not a dead end, but a new corridor we'll find ourselves in very shortly. So yeah, it's kind of an overwhelming, magnificent entrance to the level, but really don't worry too much, there is pretty much nothing here. The rocket and a crystal are the only optional pickups. Other than that, there's just, well, there is an optional way back, in case you forgot to take that rocket and crystal, but we don't need to bother with that anymore. There is yet another lever. This opens the door. No, it doesn't. Okay, never mind. This is one of the two triggering mechanisms that will make the ladder in the switch room spawn, so you do need to make a note of it. And there we go. I think we are now on the other side of the room we've been sneak peeking into. Yeah, that's the one. And this lever should open the door out and also trigger the ladder in the switch room. There we go. Okay, awesome. So if you were to press only one of these, you would just get a shot of the switch room with no ladder. You need to press both. So I can imagine some players being confused that this is some kind of glitch or something like that, but thankfully no need to worry about that. There we go. Now, mind you can also corner glitch your way, or using the crawling corner glitch, for example, up to those switches, but even if you press them, the door, the iron grate up ahead, will not open unless you have triggered the ladder. This is actually an interesting thing I found when I was experimenting with this level. As you can tell, I've spent a lot of time with it, and yeah, I try to sort of hasten my steps, not having to solve this puzzle or trigger the ladder, and I found, okay, it doesn't work if you haven't spawned the ladder for some reason. Now we have 5 switches, and you need to press just some of them in order to open the door. So what exactly is going on here? I have been trying to figure this out, and the best kind of opinion I have found on the internet is that these images really represent a food chain. And top of every single of these symbols, the switches, you see a human holding a spear, therefore probably the ultimate apex hunter. But then you have the cattle, you have the birds, you have the fish, and you have the plants. So what do we press? What do we not press? Well, you also have these arrows in the corner pointing from up to down. So if you think about it like a food chain, what this means is that really we should be pressing buttons that make sense, okay? Now on top of each is a human, so that is a constant, we don't even have to think about that. But if we look in the middle and the lower row of each switch, we see plants and a kettle. Now plants do not usually devour cattle, do they? Then again, we have fish. Fish do not really eat birds, at least not that I'm aware of. However, we have the birds, which do devour plants quite often, yes? So we press that switch. And over here we have birds devouring fish. Once again, that does happen. And over here we have cattle devouring plants. Now, on top of each of these, there is a human devouring absolutely everything. Ultimate food chain dominance. So proud to be a human now. And yeah, if you press the first 2 switch and the very last one, the grate opens. So yeah, this is kind of the best explanation I found so far, and I think it kind of makes sense for such a early primitive culture. Although, look at this magnificent architecture. And oh dear God, there they are. The source of all my phobia and frustration with this level. Flying wasps. Now you might be wondering, okay, so what's the big issue with these things? Well, there are several issues, and they are different depending on which version of the game you are playing. Now, I have checked many walkthroughs online for the PC version, and they all say there is a fixed number of wasps in the PC version of the game. Now, I'm not sure what exactly is the case. I am playing the good old games version of the game, patched with unofficial Tomb Raider 1, 2 and 3 patch. So perhaps that's why it's not in accordance with what the other walkthroughs say. But there is, each time I repeat this segment of the level, there is a different number of wasps spawning from that nest high up there, okay? Now, I have actually done this several times, and I have counted the average, okay? Because oh wait, no, let's use a harpoon, this should be fun. Awesome. Harpoon makes a great weapon because you can shoot 4 shots in rapid succession before Lara has to manually reload, which is just enough to bring a wasp down, and the rate of fire is actually pretty fast. So anyway, as I was saying, each time I play through this segment of the level, there is a different number of wasps here. I have found 24, 18, 20, 19, 15, 20 and 19 wasps again. I'm very curious to see how many wasps will spawn this time, but on average it makes around 19 wasps spawn from that nest. Now each time you see this green light, you can tell there's another one coming. However, interestingly enough, with their lightning abdomens, you know, glowing all green, they reveal a invisible platform suspended in the air. I really love this. It's actually a very interesting effect. And if I remember correctly, in the PS1 version, these wasps are blue. They have a blue abdomen. I think it's just like the crystals, you know. In the PS version, they are blue. In the PC version, they are green. The wasps are glowing blue in the PS version, but they are glowing green in the PC version. Which actually might make you reach the conclusion that these wasps are poisonous because they are glowing green. But no, do not worry, they are not at all poisonous. Now, yeah, we are severely running out of ammunition, as you have noticed. I have tried to put the shotgun to good use, I have tried to put the Uzis to good use. We have run out of the harpoon ammunition. Because of the messed up kill count, I of course want to avoid using explosives, and besides there'll be more worthy targets of that. So we are down to MP5 and Desert Eagle. Now we have a lot of Desert Eagle ammunition, but trust me, we need every single shot. And you might have also noticed, okay, so why am I not shooting at these things earlier, you know, as they spawn from up top? Well, that's because, for some reason, with flying enemies, Lara's accuracy suffers somewhat. I found the same phenomenon with, for example, flying crows in London levels. So I do wait for them to come to this part of the bridge, so they'll start aiming straight at Lara in a very straightforward trajectory, thus minimizing the risk of wasting a couple of shots. Now, I don't see any more wasps spawning, so let us check our kill count, how many we have killed, and it's 20 this time around. Okay, so once again, completely different number of wasps spawning than before. Now, really, the main difference between the PC and the PS version is that in the PS version, these wasps do not stop spawning. So you might be thinking, okay, so in PC version they do? Yes, just as they now did. However, if you retrace your steps at the beginning of the bridge or into the switch room, they will start spawning again and they will not cease to spawn. I have tested this, I was killing them over and over again, and I think I gave up at around 80 kills. They still kept spawning from that nest. So this is what I meant by infinite kill count. You can theoretically re-trigger them and keep killing them to your heart's content for as much as you want. Now, what I have tried to do, kind of take the Temple of Puna approach to the whole dilemma, and I tried to, okay, how about I avoid the wasps entirely and try to complete the level without killing a single one? You know, it would be a very interesting, stressful challenge. Unfortunately, them being a flying bastards, they will follow you throughout pretty much the entirety of the level once they get just a bit close enough. So, you know, that of course was not an option. So instead, I will resort to killing them. I'm very curious to see what our final kill count will be at the end of this level, as I really have no idea. But killing them also allows us to enter their nest. Yes, this is yet another invisible platform. Unfortunately, they do not fly over here, so they really have... They do not reveal it, you know, like they did the one we are facing right now, which I find to be just mean. But there you have it. Okay, and let's make a running jump. Okay, awesome. And from here we can access their nest, which is actually the first secret of the level. Now, it is even more generous than you might think. Let me see, 65 small health packs. And voila, we are at 67. So these are in fact 2 small health packs. Now over here we have 1 pair of grenades, but 2 pairs of Desert Eagle clips. If we collect them, you will find that we have 94 Desert Eagle clips and also 2 grenades, which is just absolutely amazing. Oh, actually 8. Yeah, we carried over 6 from the previous level. That's even better. Trust me, we'll put them to some good use. Okay, now this jump I have messed up so many times beyond counting. Let's see. And this is exactly what I am talking about. Okay guys, I'll see you back at this spot. Okay, I'm back, and actually an interesting thing to share with you. Look at the kill count now. See, 19. Now, there are no more wasps spawning anywhere. You can see actually a couple of dead corpses on the bridge. So, this is what I mean by the randomly generated number of wasps, well, within some parameters. 19 is exactly the average I have calculated from my many encounters. It can be as low as 15 and as high as 24. So, it really is depending on how lucky or unlucky you get. Now, oh dear god, let me try this again. The problem is we don't really see it with the flare out. Maybe if we throw it... Yeah, that gives us a bit of a better idea. So instead of trying to make for a grabbing jump, I'm just gonna make a standard standing jump. Oh yes, it worked, great. So as you know by now, surely, back from times of Tomb Raider 1, grabbing jumps actually decrease the overall covered trajectory a little. It's a small payoff for, you know, being able to actually grab the ledges. So sometimes it's a better idea not to keep pressing that action key at all. Okay, let go, Lara, please. And there we go. Now, actually, you can feel free to admire the view from the abyss over here. There is, at least I'm not aware of any way to climb out on top of the bridge back again. But then again, the distance is so huge, I mean, the altitude, that you should not really even survive the fall down there. So, yeah. I guess that's a safeguard against saving at a spot out of which you could not really get back from. Anyway, there are 2 caves here, which really remind me of Lost Valley level, kind of. And yeah, one holds a health pack, and the other way is a way to continue. So this is where the bridge continues. It must have been magnificent before the cave-in. And oh my god, the time has finally come. Now, prepare your rocket launcher and have some fun. Oh my god, there they are. Okay, come closer, Billy. And down you go, okay. And I think the other one can still withstand 1 rocket. Awesome. I'm not gonna risk another, because he probably took some... Yes, exactly as I thought. He took some splash damage from when we were firing rockets at his teammate. Okay, so what exactly are we fighting here? Well, your guess is as good as mine. Okay, first of all, let me just show you... do you see the little grey texture down there? Just where Lara's head is right now. That is the entrance into the... Well, depending in which order you explore the secrets, but in my case it will be the second secret of the game. So feel free to forward to that section in the description below if you're interested. We will get to that secret a bit later on. The switch to trigger it is in a completely different place, and there'll be a bit of a vicious backtracking time to run. Now back to the mutants. Oh my god, so what are we fighting here, you might wonder? The problem is you didn't get really a good close look at them from where I was launching rockets at them. Mind you, another nest of wasps, but this time it should be only 6 of them, so yeah, let's do away with them with MP5. But back to the mutants. They seem to be kind of the final evolution of what the RX-Tech researchers were mutating into. And I'm talking about the big ones, you know, that we encountered in the dark, steamy corridor. Because they had that spike on their hand, just like these mutants do. They had their heads a bit prolonged, although still with human features, which made them really especially creepy, whereas these guys just looked something like out of an Alien movie. And yeah, so their legs also looked like those of these mutants here. Now, I'm not really sure if these are just supposed to be some ancient guardians of the lost city of Tinnos, or if these are some more unfortunate RX Tech researchers that have managed to mutate fully. Because if you think about it, perhaps the crawling ones were ones that didn't really make it through properly, and you know, the one in the canteen just spewing poison at us back in Antarctica level kind of suggests they were failed mutations and they would die soon enough anyway, just bleeding out or something, that poison spreading through their system. But the big ones seem to have kind of made it, and maybe with a bit more time, you know, they would grow into these full, what I'm going to refer to as apex mutants, because they seem to be the apex of evolution, able to hurl some interesting magical missiles and stuff like that, withstand explosions. So maybe given more time, the RX Tech researchers could have mutated to these guys fully, and maybe that's what these guys are, okay? Maybe the fully evolved, well, from Dr. Villet's perspective, mutants. But you'll get a better look at them actually quite early on, quite soon enough. Let me just explain where we are. This is what I like to do. So, thankfully this nest, it will never re-trigger again. We are done with it, and always I encounter only 6 wasps in here, so no need to worry about that too much. Now, up there is an entrance into what will be, in my case, the third and final secret of the level. So once again, feel free to click on that time shortcut in the description below to find out how exactly to get in here. Now, we have a choice of 2 paths. We can go left and we can go right. Both are absolutely necessary, but I'm just going to show you, with a little peek to the right path, what is it we are after in this level, okay? And there we go. There is a magnificent pillar of light in here. You can actually, you know, even hang on top of it. Let's show off Lara. Woohoo! Okay, so it is perfectly safe, unless you go down, in which case this pillar of light will set Lara on fire. So, for obvious reasons, I'm of course not going to do that. But down here in this fiery pit below is actually entrance into the meteorite cavern, the one discovered by the Darwin's sailors back in the cutscene after we finished the jungle levels. But yeah, that is also the level exit of the lost city of Tinnos. But in order to reveal it, we'll need to insert 4 masks into the slot, and what is especially vicious, we'll even need to find a key and insert it into this keyhole. So it's like, think of it like a 5th mask, the 5th key item to trigger the mechanism. It's just so counterintuitive that many people might be thinking after inserting all 4 masks, god damn it, did the game just glitch out on me? You know, what am I missing? So in that regard, it's really evil, but don't worry about it too much. Now, we can either start exploring the numerous challenges, each one of them tied to a particular element to gather the masks, or we can go for the key that we will also need to trigger the mechanism. Now, I prefer to do the part with the key first, and I will keep the challenges for the, maybe not time-wise, but challenge-wise, the second half of the level. So first of all, let's go into the left corridor. There are many kind of optional corridors, like hell, even this one over here with really nothing in them. This level actually is really big, so it feels relatively empty considering the number of pickups. But yeah, over here is a challenge we'll need to face to get our hands on the key. And oh my god, this looks really Chinese, doesn't it? Like something out of Temple of Xi'an. And the light seeping in almost looks like electricity. I find it absolutely fascinating. There are so many different architectural styles, you know, inspired by real-world civilizations. I find fascinating. There's a sun at the very end of the corridor, if you can see it through the iron bars. But okay, we cannot admire the architecture just now. Prepare either your rocket, or in my case, grenade launcher. I find grenade launcher to be... well, I want to save those rockets, so I'm instead gonna opt for... oh my god, Lara, did you just miss? Well, this is just embarrassing. So... yeah, finally, thank you very much. So, at least you get a good look at the mutant. That's something, I guess. Okay, they can withstand 3 grenades, but a 4th one would finish them off. Now, this is really not good. For obvious reasons, I was taking too much time with one of those mutants. Oh dear god. Okay, grenade launcher, Lara. Oh dear god. Okay, we need to heal up. There is no other way, I'm afraid. This is what happens when I'm talking. Not the pistols, Lara. Oh yeah, we ran out of grenades. Okay, so I'm not gonna risk a rocket. That might just land a killing blow. Instead, let's opt for the... Oh dear god. Safer. Desert Eagle, how much can you withstand, you bastard? But now you see what I meant by them having these big, prolonged alien heads. This is kind of what the researchers in Arx-Tech mines were mutating into. That's why their head were kind of prolonged, if that word even makes sense in this case. Okay, so this was an absolute disaster from combat efficiency and ammunition efficiency point of view. Oh dear god, I'm not focusing when I'm talking. Anyways, the switch over there reveals this platform over here, which allows us to climb up. This architecture looks really something like out of Tomb Raider 4, to be honest. Perhaps early inspiration for it. And the music here is a really great touch. It's like, you know, the final encounter is incoming. But really, there is nothing in the other grates the mutants have come out of. Completely empty. Only the one I showed you contains the switch that will allow us to get into the upper level. Which in turn allows us to get into this huge room. Now, this is a bit of a puzzle. There are so many switches and ledges which can be manipulated, and instead of me explaining how many ledges and which one of them each switch manipulates, I will just show you what I consider to be the most efficient order in which to trigger them. Okay, but we need to take care avoiding these burning braziers. Let's see. Okay, that should be good. And actually, standing jump should be enough from this altitude, I think. Let's see. Great, awesome. Now, there are two switches we need to trigger, one in each crawl space. Doesn't matter in which order, really, so let me just get to this one first. This one will actually do absolutely nothing, okay, on its own, but in conjunction with the switch in the other crawl space, it will trigger several platforms. So yeah, don't be confused, once again it does nothing. It seems this level is full of mechanisms like that. I mean, the extra key we need in that room with the ocean slots, the two switches needed to extend the ladder in the food chain switch room, and hell, even the switches here. There are so many nasty mechanisms here that, you know, to the naked eye really reveal nothing. And I find that to be especially evil. And yes, we heard the sound of the mechanism clapping, finally. So, now, what we can do is safely descend down, and I think we should be able to take another... Yes, there is a ledge extended. Then we can take a running jump through here. We don't need to grab or anything. The ceiling will not hit Lara's head hard enough to make her fall down or lose her balance. Just enough allowing us to make the trajectory. Then I think we can maybe even side flip. Ah, god damn it. I was trying to side flip here. Okay, we took some damage as a punishment. Nevertheless, we need to trigger the switch over here. This extends the platform, allowing us to trigger the switch right close to that platform. Now, there is also a pool of water, which is completely empty, but it will allow us to drop down from a relative height without killing ourselves, so it will be very useful a bit later on. Now, let's just get here again. And yeah, this is the platform I was talking about. Now... What do you think will happen when we press the switch? I mean, yeah, this one I could really see coming from a mile away. It's rather obvious. Just think in a Tomb Raider 3 level designer sadistic kind of mindset, and you'll soon understand what's going to be happening. Now, let's see. Now we can also go down, but that would be kind of pointless. Instead, we can make another running jump, just gently hitting Lara's head. What we need to do now is extend this platform over here so we can reach the platform ahead of us and monkey swing across to that switch in the alcove beneath it. Now, you might be a bit confused, but don't worry, it is the switch over here which will help us extend that platform. That's the entire backtracking deal that we need to do, so it's pretty simple. But yeah, figuring out what each switch does is a nightmare, trust me. So I'm hoping to kind of make this as painless as possible for you. Okay. And there we go. Now, yeah, we can still descend safely, but that ledge is no longer usable. Not that we need it, to be honest. Okay, didn't want to hit Lara's head. Now, this is really vicious. What you need to do is not hop back, but instead make a step back. And jump holding that control key. Yes, this is kind of a precise, exact science. Took me ages to figure out. And yeah, actually, to our right, looks like something that could be a wasp's nest, right? You would be totally right, it is. However, there is only a particular row of tiles that triggers the appearance. I will, of course, get to do that in my bloodthirsty playthrough. But, you know, for those of you not interested in dealing with this headache, just I will warn you which tiles trigger them, so that you can avoid them. And there we go. Awesome. So what exactly did we do? Well, other than extending the platform over here, which currently is kind of useless, it leads to a switch that will open the second secret that I showed you in the abyss of the bridge. However, we are gonna deal with that a bit later on. It also opened the doors out, so now we need to think of some way of getting down safely. I mean, from this particular ledge, you can even drop down, well, safety drop whilst holding the ledge, but once again you will take some damage, okay? So I want to avoid doing that. Instead, let's see. Okay, and this is the use we have for that pool of water I was talking about. Now, we are going to use Lara sliding in without hitting her head whilst holding the action key forward. And this works every single time. It is entirely reliable. If you are lined up forward, not diagonally, Lara will end up in the pool. So you will take no falling damage, which is just awesome. Now, we can go through the door. However, make sure to jump across these tiles. This entire line of tiles triggers the appearance of the wasps in that wasp nest, which is something I want to do now. There should be 14 of them inside. And there they are, of course. Now, I cannot figure out a perfect way to line up to, well, to avoid missing a couple of shots, because these bastards, as you can see by the shadow, they're flying through the ceiling. I hate them so much. Just nothing, literally nothing works about these wasps. I hate it so much. Now, if you're a PS1 version player, actually, what you can do, and I have tested this whilst playing on PS1 Vita, PS1 emulator, you can actually shoot a rocket to wasps appearing near to the nest. It takes about 2 to 3 attempts. But if you land a successful hit with a rocket, within the vicinity of the nest, they will stop spawning, okay? This has been confirmed by several walkthroughs. Now, I have no idea why this is the case. It makes absolutely no sense. I have no idea if this was an intentional design by the developers, like hit them with a rocket and you'll kind of destroy the nest and therefore they'll stop appearing, or if it's just the result of some glitch. But please keep that in note if you are playing PS1 version and just can't wait to get rid of these things. But in this particular room, I just advise you to avoid stepping on these tiles in front of the door, and you won't have to deal with them at all. Okay. Come on, guys. Yeah. So, I really try to avoid shooting at them too early, because Lara will miss a few shots. Even with MP5's perfect accuracy, there is the occasional ricocheted bullet, which you can recognize by the spark effects or the particular sound it makes. And we are really short on ammunition. This is all the result of my no pistols challenge. Figure that. I still do not know if I will make it, actually, because, well, the number of wasps spawning in this level is not consistent, and I have no idea what kind of challenges in terms of ammo consumption the next level will bring. But let's check the kill count. We have currently 38 kills. That looks good. And no more wasps are appearing, and there should be no more wasps triggered in this place ever again now. However, there is another room, which is a whole different story, oh dear god. I am not looking forward to this. So first of all, let me introduce you to yet more wasps. Now, what makes this absolutely annoying is the fact that there are now 25 of them consistently spawning from this particular nest, okay? I have tested this multiple times. There are always 25. However, just like the first wasp nest on that bridge and the abyss beneath the bridge, these can be very easily re-triggered and start appearing infinitely. So this is yet another point at which you can kill enemies for all eternity. So yeah, once again, I'm surprised the walkthroughs I found don't really mention this, but then again, this could be some unique version of the game I'm playing, because it's from Good Old Games, and it's using the unofficial fan-made patch for Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3. So perhaps the patch messed this up somehow, I truly do not know. But yeah, I'm kind of used to it by now, because before this I played the PS1 version and there were indeed infinite spawns. Although what I could have done was just shoot the rocket close to the nests and stop them from spawning ever again. Unfortunately, this does not work on the PC version. I have tried this as well. This is also what the other walkthroughs report. Okay, this is not a perfect angle. As you can see, we are still missing with a lot of bullets. But yeah, it doesn't get much better than this, I'm afraid. I wonder how many bullets it takes to bring down. It looks to be 6, so we are doing really great. Those 23 shots. Okay, I'm hoping we can bring at least another 3 down. We missed with one. Not good. Now we have 14. God damn it. Maybe let's shoot whilst they're a bit closer. I really want to bring 2 wasps down with what little MP5 ammunition we have left. If they... Okay, we have just 6 shots. This has to be perfect. Oh my god, thank you very much, Lara. Otherwise I would have to waste a Desert Eagle shot, and that would be not good. Talking about Desert Eagle, very effective weapon against, well, everything, really. It takes 2 shots. Something tells me the second shot is a bit of an overkill from the Desert Eagle, so maybe it would be a better idea to combine it with the Uzis. Actually, we have 40 Uzis, because we found that one pickup. So yeah, okay, let me try that instead. I will try to fire with Desert Eagle, and let's see. Oh, yeah, this is actually much more efficient. So let's do that, perhaps, until we run out of Uzis again. And then that's it. We won't have much choices left, will we? Yeah, so the second Desert Eagle shot is really kind of a waste, considering the damage potential. Okay, my god, these really are desperate times. It's like we are playing some survival horror. Okay. Ooh. Oh dear, another one already? At least please take your time. I mean, even the spawn rates are not consistent. I hate these things so much. They are ruining what would otherwise be an absolutely enjoyable level. Because, to be honest, I do enjoy fighting the mutants a lot, even though I did really poorly back in that room with 3 of them. But, improvisation, yay! Okay. So yeah, this nest is really taking its time. That's because there are a lot of them now. 2 shots will not finish him off. There would be no point in using that, so we have to keep using the Desert Eagle now exclusively. And is that it? I sure hope so. Yay, amazing, 63 kills. Now, there is of course more to be had here. There is yet another nest. Yes, there they are. That small, what looks like a crawl space, although this is the same thing like in Lud's Gate. We cannot really crawl in there because it's too low. Rather, we're trying to sneak past the security guard. It's the same architectural principle. But thankfully there are only 10... Well, only. There is actually a lot of enemies for Tomb Raider games. There are only 10 of them in this nest. So I think it should be 7 more and we are done with the wasps here. Unless we trigger the spawn rate of the first nest yet again. I'm not looking forward to that. Okay, it's kind of an interesting angle. It's like they were born... Oh my god, there's a whole world outside. Let's see, let's taste what life is like. And then there's Lara, and she shoots you down before you were pretty much able to do anything. Serves you right for being so annoying. God damn it, I hate them. But at least we get to enjoy the bloody water ripple effects. They're really lovely, although I don't think these things should really have red blood, but whatever. Now I'm just being nitpicky. Okay, and to be honest, I lost the count, but we should be nearing the 10 milestone soon, like really soon, please. Pretty please. No? Still more of you? And that looks good. Yeah, looks clean. Okay, awesome. So as I said, we can't climb in there, and it's actually a hollow space. But yeah, there you have it. There is also a dive we can take here, but really it serves no purpose. This whole place is just really messy. There are also these 2 blocks here which serve no purpose. Then some normal looking Easter Island statues. It's probably because they don't have those eyes anymore, so these actually look pretty damn decent. Now, first of all, this is the tunnel where we came from, right? Do not backtrack there right now, you will re-trigger the appearance of the wasps in that nest, and something tells me they will spawn infinitely. Now, we have no more grenades, is that correct? Yes. So, rocket launcher it is, because there is Muty the Mutant here. So here? Oh, there you are. Okay, ooh. Okay, and onto the Desert Eagle. What the hell? I was jumping! You're not supposed to hit me when I'm jumping. Follow some rules, man. Okay, good. Just those fleshy chunks, but okay, I think by now you actually got to take a really good close look at the mutants. In case not, let me do you yet another favor. Now, mind you, these mutants can be entirely avoided. As you can see, I'm stepping into designed areas, these corners. There, I guess that's a bit of a trap, because in one of these areas there's supposed to be a key, but in case you don't know where you're going, which if you're playing this for the first time you don't, you will be nastily surprised by one of these bastards. So yeah, just to show you there is nothing around, let's explore the hidey holes. Yep, a whole lot of nothing. However, in this... Oh, let's not get into that pool. It's kind of like in Old Witch with the safes, the vault bank pool that, you know, was an obstacle while sprinting into the individual vaults. It's kind of tricky to get out of. There is the second Uli key of this level. Once again, it has these creepy slots which really look like eyes. So yeah, that's it. That's the key as the fifth key item we need to trigger the level exit. So I will, however, refrain from doing it just now. I think I will use the key as kind of a final finishing touch. I think it will look really lovely. But, yeah, let's go here. Okay, this ladder actually takes us away from this area and into a very familiar looking area. Come on, Lara. Oh my god, I just realized we'll have to climb this ladder yet again. Oh, not looking forward to it. Okay, so there is a keyhole, but ignore it for now. Instead, press the lever. That is what opens the grate over here. This key is the one I showed you from the other side. This is where we are. The room with the elemental challenges and the 4 mask slots. So we can insert the Uli key now, or we can do that later. I would really prefer to do that later as a final finishing touch, as I said. So you can either now do the challenges, or if you are interested in getting all the secrets, and hell, you are watching this walkthrough, so you probably are. Let's just backtrack a little. Oh my god, I thought we were not gonna make it. That'd be a bit of an awkward death. Okay, so let's backtrack. And not only, well, on our way back we'll re-trigger the appearance of the wasps, but I mentioned another switch that triggers secret number 2 in that huge switch room, didn't I? So yeah, that's exactly where we are headed right now. Now, if you remember, the switch is not accessible from the monkey bars, but it is just above it where the grey block is. So what do we have to do? Well, we need to get up. And how the hell are we gonna do it? Well, I think pressing this switch would help a lot. Yes, indeed. We don't need the standard platforms we were using so far. We just need the platform on the 4th switch above us. Well, 4th. You can label them however you want, with the order in which we use them. This was the 4th one. And we can just get up, like this. Here we will make a running jump on that platform we decided to ignore just a while earlier. Ooh, okay, awesome. It always seems like Lara will hit her head instead, but don't worry, put a little faith in the girl. And up we go! Yeah, and here, this is actually close to the swinging braziers and the room with the 3 apex mutants, where they absolutely destroyed us. And this is the switch I was talking about. Now, so really, yeah, hit the 3rd switch down at the bottom to raise this platform so you can get here, and we will actually use that singular platform over there to even get down very quickly, because what this switch does is what it will reveal. It will open the secret number 2 door, which is at the bottom of the abyss beneath the 2nd bridge before we entered the room with the 2 apex mutants guarding it, our first encounter with them. So that is a long way away, isn't it? Well, thankfully you have 2 minutes to make it there. Well, around 2 minutes. And you can actually probably already hear some noise. There are wasps reappearing. Thankfully it's not wasps in this room, but in the one where we found the 2nd Uli key. But anyway, enough talking. Normally I would save here, but I'm so confident I'm gonna do it that I might actually regret doing this. Oh dear god. Okay. And yeah, just side flip. Okay, that was a very close call actually. And just jump forward and perhaps even turn in midair. And hold forward whilst you're tilting Lara, otherwise she will not tilt at all. Okay, stop sprinting here. Not a good idea to do a somersault there, because that little gap whilst climbing out of the water will just stop Lara full in her tracks for whatever reason. Okay, and this is what I meant by being annoyed for having to climb the ladder yet again. I will probably pop in a small health pack, because we will take some minor falling damage on our way to the secret, and I would really not like it to be fatal to us. Plus, there will be a health crystal, as you've seen by the camera angle. So let me just... Ah, there we go. Awesome. Now, avoid falling into that fiery pit, which will be the level exit a bit later on. No reason to sprint up the stairs. Instead, jumping is far more efficient. No reason to sprint whilst cutting corner either. If you try to do a somersault here, Lara will just kind of fall from that step, a little awkwardly perhaps. Take your time here. You actually have plenty of time to get to the secret. It's not as evil as you might think. Okay, good. And here we are. We need to make a bit of a leap of faith. Oh, dear God. Okay. And just keep running forward. Lara should end up on a sliding platform from which you can make a forward jump, which is just amazing. And sprint. Whoa. There we are. Along with the small health pack and the health crystal, we now have full health. Now, there is a large health pack, and once again, Desert Eagle clips. Incredibly useful. Our lifeblood really in these later levels. And we can now observe the door to see how much time we had left until it closes. Or you can press the switch and it will close immediately, and then by pressing the switch again you can reopen it. If you do let it close, you still have to press the switch twice. That's how the game engine works. There we go. So seems like we had some extra 10 seconds or something like that. So really, it is not really such a big deal if you practice this like twice or 3 times. After that I have really never ever failed. So it's not as intimidating as you might think. Anyway, that was the... yeah. In my case, the second secret. Very good. There is still the third secret that I showed you. We will actually trigger that in one of the elemental challenges, the Earth one. But talking about the challenges, I am finally probably gonna save the game here before tackling them, because, oh dear God, just completing the 4 challenges without failing, which is what I'm gonna be doing now, is... no small task. You'll see. Oh dear God. Okay. And forward we go. Okay, awesome. So yeah. Wait for us, secret number 3. We'll get to you in due time. And now we use this official entrance. The reason why I showed you this entire place before we even went to get that key was so you won't be confused when backtracking for the second secret through here, because I can imagine this room making quite the impression on people. Okay, so the first challenge I'm going to tackle will be the swimming one, the water elemental challenge. So let me just save here, and actually this is a good spot to admire all the saves we've made through the walkthrough so far. Yeah, with RX Tech Mine's beginning, we reached the very bottom, so we had to go all the way up and override the temple ruins and the river Ganges. So this is the beginning of the lost city of Tinnos. This is my trial run save. I'm really confident we are gonna make it and complete the game with less than 50 saves now. It's so gonna be awesome. Okay, so we might as well get to it. Don't be intimidated. Whenever you enter one of these challenges, the grate behind you will close. So... okay, does this look like a whole lot of water? Yes. Does it look like completely unpredictable, impossible to overcome trap? Exactly. This I consider to be the most difficult challenge, therefore I have decided to tackle it first to, well, I guess minimize the backtracking a little. Yeah, keeping it as the last one would not be smart. I would then have to just repeat all the previous ones over and over. Saying that, try to keep in a duck, in a crawl when you are on the ledge over there, because, well, the blades above you might be just above Lara's head, but it's better not to risk it, or they'll end up chopping it off. Instead, yeah, it's really up to you if you find this large health pack worth it or not. You can just drop straight into the water and go to the very bottom of this, well, pond, lake, this pool, because that's really where we are headed to continue. Oh my God. That didn't go too well, but we didn't get a scratch on us, amazingly enough. Now, the reason why I find this to be so challenging is this. Now, beneath is a way to continue. Well, actually, no. This is a way to leave the entire challenge altogether. Up is an air pocket, to the left is an air pocket with a lever, and to the right is a way to continue deeper into the challenge. Okay, so we don't want to leave it yet. We actually cannot. We need to go to the left. We need to use the lever on the... We need to go to the right. We need to use the lever on the left to open the grate on the right. Now, there is an air pocket with the lever, so I will use it before activating it, but timing these things is tricky. I did well this time. This one time. So yeah, let's have a breather and pull the lever. However, you don't really have much time figuring out what it actually triggered because, well, of course, how else can we make this worse by making it a timed one? So I suggest you swim out of this thing entirely so you get a better angle at rushing in here. Oh, that was actually perfect. If you were trying to make a sharp turn, the whole mechanism, even if it wouldn't kill you outright, it would really push you into unknown angles and just slice you slowly altogether, so that's not a good idea. What we have here are two pairs of these bloody things, because one of them isn't enough. Oh no, the back ones will start rotating as we approach. Don't worry, they're not broken, fortunately. There is a pair of Uzi clips and a pair of Desert Eagle clips over there. First we want the Desert Eagle clips, because we can continue on our way with the Uzi clips. So, Lara, please swim down. Thank you. Always first align Lara correctly before you go for that swim. And now start turning so that Lara doesn't accidentally overswim into the next couple of blades. And make a note that whenever you start swimming, Lara takes a bit of time to actually start moving. So start pressing that swim key, well, which is the jump key, a bit earlier before you want Lara to start moving, and you should be just fine. This was actually really good. Okay, the Uzi clips and Desert Eagle clips are ours. Let's just go here. Okay, good. I'm getting the hang of this, finally, after 18 attempts. And yeah, let's roll back. Stop. And go, go, go. Go, Lara. Okay, thank you. Now let's have another breather. You could have actually seen when we activated the lever this grate rising that was just next to us. This is where we need to go. I'm not aware of this one being timed, and if yes, we have plenty of time, so have that breather. Let's go to the very bottom and align ourselves correctly and go. Okay, feel free to actually turn to sides as you are swimming. This will help you delay Lara reaching the trajectory if you feel like that's the most appropriate thing to do. Now, there is a health crystal over here in case you got damaged, which we did not. That was amazing. And you can press a switch which opens a grate on the other side of that cave, so behind the other pair of the blades. However, make sure not to leave this altar, or any of the 4 altars we'll be exploring, without picking up the key items we came for. In this case, the masks. Now, they're called oceanic masks for whatever reasons. It really, once again, doesn't tell us much about the culture. Uliki and oceanic masks. I wish there would be something like, let's say, shaman mask, or some necro mask, or magician's masks, or some earth worshipping mask, or anything that would give us a hint on who these people were, like hunter masks, gatherer masks, whatever. But instead, they just opted out for a really lazy option. Anyway, there are 3 more we need to collect, but getting to these is just as difficult as getting, well, away from these. Yeah, this is the second part of the challenge now, and yeah, on the PS1 version you'll probably always want to light up a flare in these places. Oh my god, that was close. Okay. Forward, and stop, and go, go, go. Ooh. Ha. Oh my god, I never did so well before. I'm so happy I got this in the footage. Now, there will still be yet another gauntlet of these blades, so that doesn't mean we made it out safely, but still, whew. Nicely done, Lara. Okay, and there will be one stop, an optional one. If you're running out of breath, you'll probably not make it. MP5 clips, as simple as that. But actually, let me show you the upper air pocket. Ouchies. God damn it, I wanted this to be perfect, now it isn't. Okay, and yeah, so once again, an optional air pocket, completely pointless at this point, but very useful for our purposes of catching our breath and just relaxing a little, and swim, swim, swim! Oh, god damn it, you lost your legs, Lara. Okay, you can swim without them. I wasn't angled properly, that's probably why it took so long. But yeah, actually, what am I doing? We need to get down here. This is the exit, as I was saying. Go, go, go! Oh, god damn it again! Oh well. That's, this is still acceptable, right? It's nothing to be embarrassed about. And we find ourselves in a unexciting flooded corridor. Now, Lara is wading through this as if this would be waist deep. I don't know why. This is some Tomb Raider 3 bug that once again wasn't present in Tomb Raider 2, but just jump. And the game will reevaluate Lara's position in the shallow water, and you can finally start running. So feel free to jump and start running and make a stylish swan dive, just like I did if you want. If you consider that one of your priorities in life. But yeah, where we are right now is kind of the exit out of the water challenge. Each one of these challenges has a uniquely challenging exit, which is always tied to the same corridor, which I find to be really interesting, actually. City of Wilkabamba flashback. Anyone? No? Just me? Okay. Anyways, yeah, so feel free to drop down without taking any damage. There are two paths you can go by. This is actually a path where we'll come from later on from a different challenge. And this is where all the paths back from all the challenges meet, this tile over here. And the gate will open each time, with a lovely Tomb Raider theme playing, meaning something good happened. Yes, what a relief it is to hear it. So yeah, 3 more challenges to go. Now, I prefer to really put all the stuff in gradually. I don't want to do it... Well, at the same time, I mean not gradually. Now, if you were to ask me, so what is the second most challenging challenge of these? I would say the fire challenge, but I still find much easier than the water one because it is more predictable. Yeah, and once you reach this area, you cannot go back to each challenge, which is why you need to take care to always pick up these masks before leaving each altar, which is probably what you would be doing anyway, but easy to get carried away, right? Okay, and there we are. So... yes, oh my god. So there are a couple of pillars here, and these will ignite you. These will set themselves on fire whenever you land on them. Well, not all of them. There are a couple of ones that are safe. The problem is, how do you recognize which ones are safe? Well, first of all, make a note of that one tile there. There we see, perhaps you see it from here, a large health pack and a couple of shotgun shells. But it's set on fire, okay? That is actually a malfunctioning column, and that is a really interesting element of this challenge. It doesn't work as it is supposed to. All of them should be turned off now, but that one is on fire. But it will turn itself on when it is supposed to be off, and vice versa. There is a map above us, okay? Now, if you step on the block over here, which has the fire image carved on it, you will get this camera angle, okay? X marks the spot where you are, so the beginning, the entrance, however you want to call it. And if you light up a flare, voila, it highlights the safe ones. So we see 4 safe ones. The very last one, the upper one, is actually at the very end of the corridor. However, what the map doesn't take into consideration is the malfunctioning one over there, yeah? Look how low the lights actually are, that's pretty funny. But yeah, so we will use that to get across as well. So I really like the design of this challenge. I mean, it's this combination of predictability with unpredictability. I think it's really great. First of all, let me make a running jump on that platform. I'm speechless. Well, anyway, I'll see you guys back at this very same spot. Okay, one particularly annoying water challenge later. Here we are back again, give me another chance please. So, if we had to memorize it, from the get-go it's the left one, then the one attached to the wall, then we jump onto the closest one attached to the wall, and then to the very final one. So, what I was trying to do before I failed miserably, I mean it's not even a difficult jump, is get here. You can make up for that with a little bit of stylishness, I hope, Lara. Thank you for cooperating. Actually, as you can see on my health bar, I did very poorly in that underwater challenge. Thankfully, at least I didn't have to use any health packs, so I'm absolutely fine with that. and we'll see if we'll actually even need to use a health pack in this level. I can imagine getting through without taking any damage from this point forward. We'll see. Once again, I have very ambitious words. I talk the talk, but I don't walk the walk, so to speak. Oh yeah, the cylinder. Ooh, okay. So let's once again... Well, once again. Feels like ages ago, actually, when I did this during the trial run. Okay, so this is probably a joke by the developers. You can pick up the large health pack here, even though the cylinder is here. You can sort of jump, glitch your way through it, use either of the sides to squeeze Lara in, then keep running and jumping forward, and you should be in. We'll also automatically get on the other side, but honestly, I think that one large health pack in the coastal village was quite a joke enough. I don't think my heart could handle yet another unobtainable large health pack. So yeah, you guys, you are not tricking us again, no way. Thankfully, of course, the cylinder is not dangerous once it becomes static. That's very good, very nice indeed. Ooh, stylish entrance. So what the hell are we looking at here? I do hope these are just mechanisms, not actually living things, because that would scare the living hell out of me. Now, do not be intimidated, even though easier said than done, right? It's actually fairly easy to get through once you know the timing, because you'll just be doing the same thing over and over again. So let me show you. First of all, those fires highlight the invisible ledges over here. Once the fire starts passing over Lara's head, that's the time when you should climb up. Then once again make a standing, grabbing jump. When the fire starts passing over Lara's head, climb up, make a standing, grabbing jump. Once the fire starts passing over Lara's head, actually let's shimmy a bit to the left. Yeah, and now make a running jump over here. Now, using this switch, you'll deactivate the very last bastards. Well, the last bastard, just a singular. It should make things a little bit easier. I don't think we can make a jump there. Therefore, we will just use this ledge to get across. This is probably the most challenging part of the whole fire challenge. But okay, so let's make a hop back and look button to see what stage the fire is at. And yeah, now is a good time, I think. Yeah, now turn around and oh, grab it. Okay, and now the fire passes over Lara's head, so now's the time to climb just like before and make a running jump. Now don't be too eager to collect the mask. There is a final joke, a final insult, this swinging burning brazier, okay? They really love them in this level, huh? Okay, once you step on the tile, no need to even pick up the mask, the way out will open, so once again, just like I warned you in the water challenge, make sure to collect the mask before going forward. And where we find ourselves is the corridor that we dropped from up top, you know, from the water challenge. So once again, we are at these very familiar looking crossroads, the same gate. This time the lovely Tomb Raider 2 theme will not re-trigger. However, we are more rich by one additional mask now. Now, the third most difficult challenge I consider here is the Earth challenge, because it's actually very predictable, but still I find myself making a mistake from time to time now. You will have to wade through a lot of mud in here. In the first part there is a circuit. Now, there is no point going the left path, you would just suffocate Lara. The right path is the safe one, even though the left path is a bit of a shortcut. So theoretically, if you would be popping health pack one after another like candies, you could make it a bit quicker, which might be interesting to trial timed runners, that kind of thing. Now, it's interesting because I have replayed this part about 15 to 18 times, and only once a nest of wasps has triggered, and there were 5 wasps flying from the ceiling, so I used this ledge to climb out and kill them, but, well, I killed only 3. Then I decided to ignore them. I continued through the mud, and when I climbed up elsewhere, that's where I finished them off. When you're in the mud, the wasps seem unable to attack you somehow, but yeah, this is strange because the walkthroughs also mention wasp spawning here. To me, it happened only once in all the attempts I repeated this. So you might get lucky or unlucky, depends how you consider yourself, and you might trigger the appearance of 5 wasps, but if not, then welcome to the club. I don't see or hear or feel or smell any wasps either. So that's yet another strange thing regarding wasps in this level, and it really pisses me off. I was really hoping for static number of enemies that we could just defeat all of them and have that accurate kill count, which I thought would be 90 kills, but well, it's gonna be something else. It is only the mutants that we can rely on, all 7 of them, but we have actually defeated all of them already by getting our hands on that second Uli key. So yeah, just make a note of that, don't be too surprised if wasps start spawning in that spot. But yeah, could be just my good old games plus unofficial patch version of the game that doesn't make them spawn. I find that to be very strange. Okay, now before we continue and collect our mask, there is still the matter of the third secret. You remember in the chamber with the ladder leading to a small gap? Well, in order to reach the ladder, we'll need to drop a stone block to give us a bit of a leg up. Now that stone block can actually be triggered to drop from the small crawl space up ahead. I'm not sure if you can see it. These rock textures are really blending in together only too well. But yeah, it is. There is a switch over here. And along with a small health pack, yeah, you can see it now. Whoa, Lara, what happened to torso and head? Okay, so please press the switch. Boom. I really love this effect, just this sack of potatoes falling down kind of sound effect. So there it is, the ground has shaken a bit. Ooh, a hint of what's to come. This is the Earth Challenge after all, right? And oh, it does not refer to all the mud in here. No, it's far more sinister than that. Nevertheless, we will now be able to get our hands on that third and final secret. Okay, awesome. And a standing jump should just be sufficient over here. Great, awesome, easy peasy. Now there should be one final enemy we will face. Actually, no. The one before the final enemy. A wasp. And since shotgun is pretty much the weakest weapon we currently have, let's use that to get rid of him. Since we collected those shotgun shells earlier, might as well put them to good use. I'm so looking forward actually doing the statistics video for Tomb Raider 3. I'm just really curious to see, well, to sum up all the technical difficulties and discrepancies and weird designs we found out, the weapon usage, accuracy, that kind of thing. I'm absolutely looking forward to that. And hopefully you as well. And there we go. Once you pick up the mask, ooh, the third one, everything starts to shake and crumble and drop on top of Lara's head. Okay, let's see. Getting through is a bit awkward. Make sure to stop here because, yep, that tile gets blocked, or you can just diagonally jump like this and avoid it altogether, but that's, as you might imagine, not really reliable. Take it really slow. That's probably the best advice I can give you, except, with very big exception of the next falling piece of rubble. Now, there are basically two paths we can go by, right? Wrong. There is only one path. The path over here is gone. And below, I know it doesn't look like it. They probably didn't have time to finish the texture properly. That is a hot stream of lava. You would set Lara on fire, just like we did in that fire challenge room. So yeah, you can make a running grabbing jump to grab the ledge on the other side. However, it's slippery. The first tile is slippery, so you would just be plunging to your death. Instead, you are to take the left path over here and keep moving, and press the walk key here, okay? Or maybe even roll and hold the action key to re-grab the ledge. Yeah, this is a especially vicious piece of rubble. There will be another one that will be really evil, but I don't think either of them is as evil as this. Then you can make a running jump right across the pit. And this is what I explained at the very beginning of the level. All this lava here is probably the reason why the water is not freezing like in RX Tech Mines or the Antarctica level. It keeps the temperature up, I assume. And actually, this whole cave really reminds me of one of the levels in the Lost Artifact expansion, which I'm so looking forward to. Probably the best levels of classic Tomb Raiders by far. Anyways, later about that. Yeah, so all the mud is gone, and we see what was in it, or underneath it. A huge abyss. Actually, I love doing this. I love dropping flares just to get a sense of height. A little bit of vertigo. Ooh, okay. So what we need to do is just jump ahead. Simple, right? Well, think in sadistic Tomb Raider 3 level designer thoughts. Of course, there will be a piece of rubble falling here, so just hop back and re-grab and reclimb the ledge. And over here, oh my god, this is the worst of them all. There is no falling rubble on this tile, but on the following one, however, take a notice of this rocky ledge above Lara's head. You have to make an accurate angled jump. It's actually more difficult than it looks because the ledge reaches farther than it looks. Its very sharp end is there. It's quite difficult to see, and you also need to be aligned well enough to... Okay, make it across. Please do roll once you hit the ground. Sometimes Lara will hit her head and fall down and recover for a while. You do not have enough time to recover. Therefore, I strongly urge you to press that roll key when you hit the ground, because not only this will make Lara lunge forward, but also allow you to move afterwards. So please make a note of that. And yeah, the gate is closed behind us, so we need to use this alternate route, the ladder that has revealed itself. Pass through the extremely... Whoa, what was that? Extremely shaky corridor, and once you step here, the earthquake finally stops. Yes. Now don't be too enthusiastic about jumping forward here. There are a couple of swinging braziers in case we haven't had just about enough of them. Okay, and yeah, keep this angle of a crawl to safely collect those Desert Eagle shots. And then crawl out of the swinging brazier's way. Now there's nothing in the other alcoves on the sides, either here or behind the next one. So just get through, and yeah, finally we made it. Now, all that remains now is what I consider to be the least dangerous challenge, okay? That still doesn't mean we are not gonna die. But, whew, I think I'm gonna have nightmares about the water challenge, that's for damn sure. Okay, and you can either wait for the ledge to close itself and pass safely, or, you know, jump diagonally like this. The gate will open. Let's see how long it remains open. There we go. Quite long, actually. So once again, we find ourselves at the same crossroads. We got the path from up there and the end of the corridor covered, and then from down here, so all that remains is the water pool over there. That will be the way back from the Earth challenge. Wow, 3 masks and the key. I can't wait to put them all in. However, we almost forgot about the very last secret, didn't we? Now, yeah, the way to the Earth challenge is now closed, so is the water challenge and fire challenge. Let's go back to this chamber over here, because yes, there is the block we've dropped a while ago. Now, this is a movable block. You can move it forward, but you don't need to. You can actually use its current alignment to grab the ladder, albeit it's a bit tricky. There we go, easy as that. I think it's much faster than having to move the block. Okay, and up here in this small gap is the third and final secret of the level. Oh my god, yes. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there is any secret in the next level. Therefore, I think this makes it the very final secret of Tomb Raider 3. And after you finish the next level, you will end up in the bonus level. We can still hear wasps in the shallow pools room where the 2 mutants and the second Ruli key were. And look at these statues, they're actually kind of hilarious. Like little pygmy men. It's really strange, creepy, disturbing to think they're here with you in this dark room. The crystal, it is not floating, because we are not close enough, probably. But yeah, in case you just haven't had your fair share of burning braziers, here is another one. And a crystal, which is great. And a large health bank. So the reward is pretty underwhelming. I mean, in the second secret we at least got the most useful ammunition, the Desert Eagle clips, but here, not really. The first secret was definitely the best. The first nest of the first wasp encounter. Okay, let's make it across, down the ladder. Actually, we can also... Oh my god, I'm so gonna die, am I not? Yeah, we can actually explore the area close to the second nest we encountered, and even the ledge up here, but really it serves no purpose at this point. Well, at any point, to be honest. Okay, and there's also a ledge over there, but with no items on it. Anyway, so, back to the challenges at hand. There is still one final one, which I can spectacularly mess up if I'm not paying close attention, which I never am when I'm commenting, so... Okay, so, 3 challenges down, 1 more to go. The air challenge, so what will this be all about? No way back now. So, except for the wonderful music, triggering here yet again. This is a large maze, a labyrinth. Now, do you hear the sound of the wind? And do you see Lara's braid swinging in the wind? This means you are on the correct path. There is a wind blowing between the beginning and the end of the maze. If you just follow the wind, listening to the sound and observing Lara's braid, you will reach the exit no problem. But we are not here to reach the exit, we are here to get our hands on the goodies. So if we step out of the correct path, like let's say here, the braid is not moving, we cannot hear the wind anymore. So now we know we are not on what the game considers the correct path. However, we being such completionists, there are Uzi clips to be found here, then there are shotgun shells to be found a bit further ahead, and you probably already hear a particularly nasty wasp. Yes, there is one wasp with us in this level, which, if you don't know where it is, can be really quite unnerving. You just know it's somewhere out there, and you're not sure exactly where, and it makes a lot of noise, and actually, you cannot even be sure if it's just one wasp. When you once again encounter the monkey statue over here, just go forward. And I think... Oh my god, no, I'm so sorry, I'm misleading you totally. Anyway, back to the monkey statue. So, when you get to the monkey statue, that's the one. We want to see those masks etched on the stone. Lara, please, the shotgun. Crazy cow. Okay, so we have those 2 shotgun shells we just picked up. Let's make use of them. There really won't be any more worthwhile enemies for the shotgun in the rest of the game than the wasps. And I believe this was also the last kill of the level. Let me just check. 77, wow. That is a small amount of enemies killed indeed. Okay, and here we have box of flares and a small health pack. Good. Okay, now we need to get back onto the correct path, at least for a while, before we'll start exploring things at our own pace yet again. Now you can hear more wasps. These are the ones from the second Uli key room. And yeah, you see the exit and the pillar of the light behind. You know we are on the correct path. But let's observe Lara's braid. Yes, we are on the correct path, so let's go here. And after following it for a while... yeah, we are off again, but I think there should be a small health pack somewhere over here. Let's see. I'm just trying to go as far to the... well, looking at the maze from the beginning as north. Yeah, there it is, east as possible. There we go. And other than exit, there should also be one pair of grenades in this maze. Now, it is extremely difficult for me to remember every nook and cranny, but there you have it. Okay, so we are on the correct path. Maybe if we just go forward... Yes, still on the correct path. Good. Now, we should just be heading forward a little. Yes, the sound says we are on the correct path still. And that should be the exit. Yeah, once you see a monkey statue with a little patch of mud, that's the exit. So, knowing you reach that, feel free to turn around here and get your hands on a pair of grenades. And that's really it for this maze. Every single pickup, that one annoying wasp, and the exit. So yeah, feel free to just follow the wind and you'll be here in no time. Actually, it'll be an interesting challenge to get to the exit since the moment you start hearing the music before it ends, you know. Just a little idea for a challenge there. Maybe even picking up the items and killing the wasp without getting lost in time. Yeah, so there is a cylinder here. There is a slope leading to something brown, which is actually a lava. It will set Lara on fire somehow. Don't ask me how. It's the same texture as in the central pillar of light room. So yeah, it feels like they rushed this level perhaps a bit and didn't bother with lava textures. But anyway, yeah, so do not jump over the cylinder, okay? It's a path of certain doom. I guess it's here just in case you end up in between these two slopes to have a place to die. So instead, let's get on the step over here and... You know, we did something like this in the Atlantis in the first game, haven't we? You know, with boulders rolling on each side. Oh shit, that was really close. And of course, the challenge, it continues. Okay, one more step, perhaps? Yes, okay, good. So just take it slow, take it easy, you know what to do. And this is why I find this to be the easiest challenge. Now, when you step on the altar over here again, the door over there opens. Make sure to pick up the mask before you go there, otherwise there'll be no way back. And yeah, let it close. This will reveal a very long drop. Don't worry if you just keep running forward and end up falling here, because as you can see there's water, which will help you survive. A big deal. And where we find ourselves is once again at the challenge end crossroads, or however the hell I should call this tunnel. Yes, here we are. So we went from this corridor from up, from the end. We went from the crossroads bottom, and from the river of that corridor over there. Ladies and gentlemen, there we are. This is it, okay? My god, this is so exciting. So, I did it because I saved before the water challenge. I have, after 2 fails, ultimately managed to beat all 4 challenges in one go without saving and loading. So first, let's put in all the masks. Okay, this actually reveals a very interesting statue. Now, be sure whilst cutting corners not to touch that pillar of light. It will set Lara on fire, and to die this late in the game would just be... Okay, I wanted to avoid saying hilarious, but, you know, it wouldn't be very, very nice. Lara, please, no, don't. Just... Thank you. Okay, and the final one. My god, this is exciting. And nothing happens! Yeah, this is what I meant by this being realistic. Imagine collecting those masks after overcoming the challenges and finding nothing happens. They even turn. You would expect some beam of light to split to all 4 directions. No. This is where the second Uli key comes in. You have to insert it into a lock that's not even close to the room. I mean, at least if they would put the lock close to everything else, you would get a hint. Okay, so I'm missing a key. But no, they put it here, behind iron bars, if you haven't explored this part of the level yet. And now, the pillar of light disappears. Finally. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we can drop down into the remainder of the level. Actually, feel free to check here if you have all the secrets. We do have all 3 secrets. This is perfect. So, no reason to go back up now. This is not the end of the level yet. The end of the level is on this slide. Now, there will be a particularly interesting cutscene, however, I will skip it and I will show it to you at the beginning of the next level. My apologies if this infuriates you, I just find it to be a far more fitting pacing of the game. So, let's just take a look at the statistics screen. And there we go, the lost city of Tinnos. So, time taken 1 hour 8 and 8 minutes. I'm not entirely sure, but this might just be one of the longest, if not the longest level. We have found all 3 secrets. We have killed 77 enemies. Now, once again, make of that what you will. There is an infinite number of potential enemies in this level. There are 7 mutants in this level and completely unpredictable number of wasps. The first nest spawns anything between 15 to 24 wasps, and actually at some point it spawned 27, yeah, on my very first attempt, I remember that too well. Then you have the second nest, which spawns 6, third nest, which spawns 14, fourth nest, which spawns 25, along in the same room with the fifth nest, which spawns 10. However, the 25 one gets re-triggered easily if you backtrack for the second secret, so... You know, for me as a completionist, this really is a dilemma, what to do, you know. I could have ignored that one lizard in the Temple of Puna to remove it from the statistics count, but, you know, I have my notes on me, I will just make a note of this level's anomaly, just like the poor raptors at the Crash Course level with a grenade launcher. Anyway, that is my task. As for the items, we have found all 38 items. So... I can't believe this is... I mean, we did it with just one save. I mean, feel free to challenge yourself and complete this level from the beginning till the end without saving and loading, whilst trying to collect all the secrets. That would be really the ultimate Tomb Raider challenge. And yeah, thank you very much guys for watching, and I will see you next time in the Meteorite Cavern. Yes, watch out for the boss fight.